Go to hell, Wicked Binge fans. What? No, don't leave the video, that's just where you'll have to be to experience the wonders of Hazbin Hotel, the musical animated series from the creative mind of Vivziepop.
Just hope what I'm trying to do here will work.
This animated pilot premiered about 4 years ago with such a unique premise, fun characters, and fantastic animation that it's no wonder why it has a following to this day. A following that's no doubt excited for the recent announcement of that long-awaited Season 1 finally coming out in January. Either way, I'm Kristijan with Wicked Binge, and we've got a hell of a treat to tide you over until the full show drops. This is Hazbin Hotel pilot characters, good to evil.
This is going to be very entertaining!
Despite taking place in, hell, there are some characters who have pretty firm spots in the good. Taking home the gold medal of good is the show's main protagonist and princess of hell, Charlie Morningstar. There's still plenty that's unknown about how exactly hell works in this universe, but Charlie shines some light on some of the most unique aspects. For one, she was born into hell, meaning that demons can reproduce in the afterlife. And frankly, that's the only way anyone could explain this absolute sweetheart being in hell. Charlie is a ray of sunshine in a world where sunshine is probably illegal or something. She firmly believes that inside of every demon there's a rainbow, inside every sinner is a shiny smile. I'm sorry about that. She's also a really good singer. Even better, though, are her intentions. She dreams of opening a happy hotel meant for rehabilitating sinners so that they can maybe get into heaven, and thereby keep countless demons from being executed due to the overpopulation crisis. While almost the entire underworld laughs in her face, or at least the TV it's on, she stays determined to make hell a better place, mostly by getting some of the people out of there. If we had to say anything bad about Charlie, it would be that she's arguably a little too optimistic. You could definitely make a case that she doesn't fully understand how hell and its people work.
How can I turn someone away? I can't.
Which might be part of why her pitch was so poorly received, but we're still rooting for her regardless. And what's a powerful, well-meaning demon princess without her best friend? Vaggie takes home the silver medal of good, and honestly, there wasn't too much competition so far, but rest assured she's a good friend regardless. If Charlie is the optimist who constantly has her head in the clouds, Vaggie is the anchor who tries to keep her from floating too high up there. She has more of a temper than Charlie, shown by her interaction with Angel Dust for worsening her pitch's already sour reception, but all things considered, that's understandable. She gets extra points for the fact that she constantly offers Charlie advice for how to not screw things up with her demon audience, and despite the fact that Charlie isn't the best at consistently following said advice,
please don't sing,
she remains loyal and sticks by her through thick and thin. Vaggie also does her best to keep Charlie out of trouble and consoles her when her pitch is poorly received. Not to mention acting as the hotel's manager is a touching dynamic and one we look forward to seeing more of as the story unfolds. Our last fully good character is one of Hazbin Hotel's newest staff members, Nifty. While we've seen the least of her out of all the characters in discussion today, we've seen enough to conclude that Nifty is one of the friendlier sinner demons. She's as excitable as she is adorable, and while she might be a little upset at the lack of men in the hotel,
why are you all women? Are there any men here? I'm sorry if that's rude.
No offense, Angel Dust. She's nonetheless willing to help out around the place as the chef and maid. She's also friendly, and despite her impulsivity, she's quick to apologize when she suspects she's offended someone, showing that she never means any harm. And that's enough to keep her out of the next category. This is the gray area. We'll start this category out with the other new hotel employee, Husk. The main thing separating him from the good category is a lack of real enthusiasm for helping others, like Nifty has. Husk would much rather be using his powers of luck granted by Alistair to keep hitting it big with his gambling habits, which we'd say is a pretty solid reason to give him the Greed Sinner Medal. But while Husk isn't really out to do anything good, he's not exactly bad either. Like his name suggests, he's just been hollowed out by his time in hell, and through his own admission has lost the ability to love long ago.
I lost the ability to love years ago.
Here's hoping some quality friendships can help him relearn that skill. For now, though, he remains in neutral territory, but at the top. Next, we've got to give a shout out to the most adorable character in the pilot, the Egg Boys. They're Sir Pentius's loyal minions, constantly showing their master affection and borderline worship to the point where they even desperately long to be shot by his ray gun. That self-defeating desire of theirs gives them the Darwin Medal. Truly, they are eggheads in name only, but while they're serving a dastardly villain like Sir Pentius, they themselves aren't really all that malicious. In the simplest terms, they're like a more masochistic, slightly less evil version of the minions from the Despicable Me movies. Make of that what you will. Iconic cartoons and recurring news reporter characters go hand in hand. Enter Tom Trench. Really, he's par for the course as far as TV news anchors go. He's a simple man. He wants some good ratings, and if that means humiliating someone on live TV, so be it. That said, he isn't malicious like his co-anchor, who we'll get to later, hence this more middle-of-the-road placement. Now for the last of the main protagonists, Angel Dust. Angel Dust is totally cool with engaging in every sin imaginable, basically. He's a prostitute and a porn star, and isn't shy to offer his services whenever they're wanted, and even when they aren't. Now that's dedication to the job. Anyone surprised that he's getting the Lust Center medal? No? Good.
This discreet, you hear me?
He's also willing to help his friend Cherry Bomb out with various destructive crimes, and while this is mostly out of loyalty to her rather than a desire to commit them himself, it still shows a willingness to compromise his morality.
We are keeping this. Hey.
That said, Angel has his good points. When Charlie's down in the dumps over her pitch's poor reception, he feels sympathy for her and almost steps in to comfort her. He's also a really good friend to Cherry. During their confrontation with Sir Pentius, he pushes her out of the way so she doesn't get shot by one of his weapons. And, for some extra sympathy points, he has a really rough personal life, if that Addict music video is anything to go off of. Poor guy. Speaking of which, the last spot in our gray area goes to Cherry Bomb. Unlike most of the other characters so far, Cherry's role in the series isn't as clear-cut. She's not necessarily a protagonist due to her frequent criminal activity. She's also not really an antagonist though, since she engages in her fair share of attacks on other, worse villains. The reason we've decided to place her in the gray area despite her unsavory deeds is for the aforementioned music video, in which it's revealed that she comforts Angel Dust when he's been assaulted or otherwise mistreated by his boss. She's not winning any Nobel Peace Prizes, but she at least deserves a gold star for being a good friend. Now it's time for the characters who actually warrant their hellish homes. These are the bad to evil. The Bronze Medal of Evil goes to Tom Trench's co-anchor, Katie Killjoy. Katie is a deceased news anchor who loves to hassle her co-anchor whose name is Tom, and oh my god, she's Diane Simmons from Family Guy. That absolute bomb of a lore dump aside, Miss Killjoy might not be a full-on supervillain, but she is a huge jerk and doesn't mind taunting Charlie on live TV, much to her humiliation. She also pours a hot drink on Tom's crotch when he makes a suggestive comment about Cherry Bomb, and while Tom maybe should have kept that to himself, it's still a step too far. The Silver Medalist of Evil is none other than the most terrifying sinner demon in all of hell, self-proclaimed, Sir Pentius. Aside from being a standard take over the world type of villain, Pentius commits an even worse sin in our eyes, abusing his subordinates. He treats his egg boys like absolute trash, even though they're doing nothing but loving him and obeying his every command. That cruelty earns him the Wrath Sinner Medal. But as for his very limited good points, well, when Angel Dust calls him daddy, as an innuendo, he briefly thinks that Angel is actually his son, since he takes it literally, so maybe there's a more nurturing side to him off screen. Even if that isn't the case, the Gold Medal of Evil is undoubtedly going to Alistair, the radio demon. By far the greatest threat that we've seen in the show so far, Alistair is an anomaly even in the context of literal hell. He just kind of showed up one day, seemingly overnight, and started toppling overlords who had reigned for centuries. Given how brutally he defended the hotel against Sir Pentius' attack, it's no stretch to say he did not deal with them kindly. But while any grander ambitions of his are currently unknown, Vaggie described him best as an unpredictable source of danger. What makes him a sure shot for our most evil character is the fact that he seems to be doing what he does for fun, and by his own admission, just wants to see others suffer and fall from grace. If anyone's fit to be the devil of this universe, so far our money's on him. But let us know in the comments section who your favorite Hazbin Hotel character is, and also if you're excited for the long-awaited upcoming Season 1. Thanks for watching.